Hello everybody, welcome to Crafty Soup. My name is Misty. While my channel focuses largely on scrapbooking, my Crafty Soup name implies that I do a lot of other crafting, and that is the case, and I've been wanting to share more card making videos, so that is what I've got going on today. Now I understand if card making isn't your cup of tea, that's okay, you can skip this, but I do use a lot of the same thought processes, tips, and supplies between the two crafts. So perhaps that is you as well, and you could get something out of this video. All right, I am doing this particular card as part of the Craft Roulette Challenge on YouTube, and I'll talk more about that as we go. So let's go ahead and dive in. So I filmed this a while ago. So this is from Craft Roulette, where they spin a wheel and get random parameters, ingredients that you need to use to make a project. And there's 4 different categories. And so I wrote them down on my list, and I'm going to go through each of them. Because I did film this a while ago, I'm hoping that I can remember everything. I know it was a Thinking of You card with fairy tale colors. Let's see, what else? A stamped background, because I've got that stamp out. And then there was a category called Hears and Ears. And that's basically any way you can interpret something you could hear or something that has ears or anything along those lines. So with my stamping, I pulled out a music note stamp set, and that's going to be a very subtle background stamp. And you can see I have a whole bunch of other supplies out. I'm going to use stamping, die cutting, including die cutting this little piece of crepe paper that I used in a scrapbooking kit a while back. And I'm going to just keep reusing that leftover piece until it's all gone. Off camera, I've done some of the work so that I don't have to take the time to show you all the boring stuff. I am creating a large card. So what is this, an A7, A9? Yes, A9, which is 5.5 by 8.5. It's a full sheet of paper just folded in half. I am going to start prepping some of my stamps here. And if you've never seen me cut apart stamps before, or you've never done it or seen anybody else do it, don't worry, you can put the stamps, just butt the pieces right back up together, and you've got the whole image again. I am creating multiple layers for this card, and that's partially because in case I mess up some of the stamping, I can just throw it out and redo it, and you will actually see that happen. So I'm glad I did that ahead of time with creating multiple layers, but also those multiple layers gives a lot more detail to a card, especially this is a special one because I'm creating an anniversary card. All right, here is my first set of stamping, which is those music notes, and I used a very light color, and in fact, I did a second generation stamping where you stamp the darkest color off on a scratch and then repeat stamping without re-inking onto your project, and I was worried that was going to be a little bit too light, but in the end, it works out, so that part is good. What I'm doing here is creating some masks because I know I'm going to create a big, lush border of florals along the bottom of this card because I wanted it to be a very romantic feeling for an anniversary card. And this is where I start having problems. All right, I've got a waffle flower grip mat in my Misty, and I've never used it before, and I'm learning how to use it. And I think I bought the wrong size because it doesn't go all the way to the edge of the Misty. And so I'm having all kinds of trouble getting things to line up properly. I have done a little bit of stamping, and I've put some of my masks over the top of that so that I can stamp the next layer, and that stamping won't cover over my previous layer. And just as I'm working, I'm just having so much trouble, and something slips and I try to get it realigned and it's not working. And you know, these stamping tools are supposed to be great at helping you get things aligned properly. And if you need to restamp, to do that. But because I'm working with a new tool here, there's a learning curve that I did not quite expect. So I restart. I just put that piece in the scrap bin, recycle bin, and I'm going again. I've got things set up better now that I know how things are fitting on my card. I've got them all set up better so that I can easily shift things around as I go and have room for stamps to hang over the edges, tops, bottom, sides. And I will have to move the card around a little bit because this is a large size card. I am needing, it fills up most of the Misty, so there's not a lot of room for things to hang over the edge. So you will see me move some stuff around. Now, if you're already a card maker, you probably know a lot of these things that I'm sharing, but if you're a scrapbooker who's interested in adding extra styles and techniques to your scrapbooking, then I want to be sure to explain enough so that if you want to give some of this stuff a try on a larger format, then you can go for that. And in fact, I've been so wanting to have a stamp platform that will fit my 12 by 12 papers. I'm starting to look at a few possibilities to purchase in the near future, though I haven't settled on anything yet. But once I do, I will give that product a test run and then do a review on it, because I have really been wanting to do more of these techniques on my scrapbook layouts. All right, I'm getting a little bit cleaned up here because this process can be a little bit messy, mostly peeling those stamps off the Misty platform and then putting them aside to clean later. So that's getting my fingers inky. All right, that came out how I wanted it to. So I'm feeling very good at this point that the project is coming together despite having those challenges with that sticky grit mat in there. I am going to add more layers to this with ink colors, and this is where I think the fairy tale portion of the prompt was from the ink color category. I think that's how this worked out. So I'm just going with like the colors of Disney princess dresses. So I've got yellow for Belle, I've got teal for Elsa, and I've got a darker blue for Cinderella. So that is my fairy tale colors. I do need to re-ink my little ink cubes as we go, because ink blending definitely takes a lot of ink, and this style of ink pad with the softer foam pad definitely releases the ink faster than some other ink pads do, and so I have to re-ink as I go. All right, I have die cut. I think I already die cut that heart in the video, but now I've got the heart glued on. I am bringing in a little piece of acetate so that I can test stamp these words. Because these are on red rubber, you can't see through them, so it's a little bit harder to make sure everything is lined up. So using this acetate trick where you stamp on top of that piece first, and that will just clean off easily. You can make sure everything's there and aligned. And then I go with my next stamp, and it turns out that stamp has a natural little wonk to it at the end of the U, which I didn't realize, so I got things crooked anyway. Oh well, I did do my best. So with all of those pieces coming together, I have finished this card. No, I haven't. I am adding one more little detail to the inside of the card. This is an older Concord and Ninth product, which has a bunch of words on it that you can die cut out all at once. I don't think that product is available anymore, but I like it and I keep using it. And so you will continue to see it in videos because I use it for both scrapbooking and card making. So I take the words that are appropriate here, and I'm going to go ahead and line them up and glue them to the inside of the card, and that will complete the card for this time. So if you stuck with me all the way to the end, I'm hoping that you did so because you're getting something useful out of these videos, whether you're a card maker or a scrapbooker and you want to combine these tips and tricks and techniques on your scrapbooking layouts. I am very thankful that you made it to the end with me, and I have a few close-up photos for you of this project. And I will say that I hope you come back for more scrapbooking and card making videos from me in the future. And until then, have an artful day.